What is up guys, Wraec is here with a new video, and today we are once again on the Pioneer server with a new test phase for a new hero, and this new hero is none less than Shemira. Shemira, a long-awaited hero, and well, a little bit of pointer by the way, we have the dimensional sorting option here now. Nothing in there, but that's pretty cool. So, long-awaited hero Shemira was announced before the season. Even they said they leaked her themselves and posted like a little bit of an animation for her. People were hyped ever since, and I thought, well, there's so much hype around this hero now, there's basically no chance she lives up to it. But when I saw her skills for the first time, I was like, that does seem kind of nice. That seems kind of cool. So, well, let's take a look at it in a fight, and then we can kind of go through her skills. This video, we will mainly go over PvP, we'll do some friendship fights, we will do a general first impression of the PvP. Keep in mind, this is a test server, so every single skill that is on here might change. For the last two heroes that we tested, these skills did actually change before the release. It is meant to be a test server after all, so we test a version of it and they decide if it's too strong or too weak and then decide on a release version. So there we go, this is our first fight, Wraec versus Cruel, both using non-seasonal artifacts, and no faction skills are active in this fight. There's a new friend list fight option, which I think is a little bit weird, because, well, it is no seasonal stuff apparently, meant to mimic the arena mode, but you can still select like normal artifacts, so it's a little bit weird, I don't know. But we are fighting Shemira versus Shemira here, and I just wanted you to see the animations for this first one. We're obviously blocking out the enemy Shemira with our Dunlinger, giving us a little bit of a head start here, and giving us a little bit of time to actually start our ult. You can see how impressive that ult is. Take a look at that. We're shooting out these green globs, and those are doing a ton of damage. My first idea on this is like, it kind of is a little bit of a Cryonaya thing, where you have this huge ult that is battle deciding, you can say. Like when this ult hits the enemy, the fight is nearly over. If we hit the enemy Shemira there, he wouldn't even have the chance to retaliate against us. But of course in this situation we weren't really able to do that. We hit all the other enemies, and we can kind of watch that one more time, maybe on double speed, which is pretty cool. And you really just want to make a team to be able to get to this ult before the enemy can, so that you can start sending out these ghosts. I have to say though, while those do a ton of damage, and while, I mean, certainly the fight is pretty much over as soon as the Shemira start casting, then it just becomes a mess really. It is not quite the same level of devastation as a Cryonaya. As for an example, I did the same team, just swapped out Shemira for Cryonaya, and we can watch the fight again. So let's take a look at this. One time speed once again. We are even getting entangled at the start because he is running Siren, blocking out our Enlightening spell. Then we're starting to get our energy, and bam, there we go. Enemy Shemira there, and she is gone. And the good thing about Cryonaya, and the thing that is way stronger in like comparison of the ults, is really that Cryonaya is blocking enemy ultimate skills when she casts her own. So not only does she gain this huge shield, but no other enemy is able to cast an ult as long as Cryonaya is casting hers. So that essentially means that other heroes have to rely on their different skills, which makes it way harder to deal with Cryonaya. And Cryonaya can often reliably take out enemies with her ult, even when the enemy has a strong form of heal on the battlefield. We could just see a Ludovic there, for example, who took a ton of damage, who took a lot more damage to be defeated at the end, but still we were able to punch through. So in that form, I would say Cryonaya certainly brings a lot more devastation to the battlefield than a Shemira would, and it's a lot more reliable to take out enemies. There is an advantage though for Shemira that I don't want to miss out on, or that I definitely want to show you, and that is if we compare the activation requirement for the ults of Shemira to that of Cryonaya. If we take a look at Shemira at the moment, she does sport 300 initial energy, which will make her get to her ult rather fast. So that is actually pretty good if we compare to Cryonaya. Let's just quickly hop over. Cryonaya at the moment, well, 0 initial energy, so a little bit slower, which potentially gives Shemira a head start. And in a situation where we don't fight with Dunlingers on the board, which I mean, on Pioneer, we made the experience, if you watched my recent videos or my past videos about Pioneer test phases, people tend to use Dunlinger and then end up not really having him on their own account, or not really having them in the team that they use, and then we get another meta out of it. So I kind of expect Shemira to do a lot worse in the meta on the Pioneer server than she will be on the actual server, where we have less occurrence rate of Dunlinger. On top of that, we not only have 300 energy giving us a head start, we have something else entirely. We have charms, and I didn't use those yet. For the first point, there is not really a use. I'm pretty sure they don't work in the new format. But what we have right here is we do indeed have charms, and we have to unlock those. One quick unlock later, and now we have the charms for you already, and we can just kind of buy them. We don't have a full set right here, but what this gives us, and this is the most important part, restores 40 energy per second during battle. Once a total of 900 energy is restored through this effect, increases the caster's ultimate damage by 50% for the rest of the battle. And then of course we stack that up with some nice stats, game suggesting attack ultimate power, which would indeed, I mean, for the big ult that we already have, enhance the damage our ghosts deal plus the heal that we receive, which also is a topic we kind of have to talk about for a second, because this is pretty good in a fight against other Shemiras and normal heroes. Not so good against Athalia, I found out. Yeah, we can upgrade our damage immensely with that, and of course the time we need to reach our ult, and maybe we can just kind of show that. So yeah, there we have a fight. Keep an eye out on the energy of Shemira there. Maybe we just replay that. Keep an eye out on the energy and you can see the charms effect, bam, quickly going up. Absolutely insane. We don't even have a Paragon advantage here. She is P4, but no Paragon advantage as everybody has before. You can see just like back-to-back ult here. How quickly she greens the second ult is insane. It's like once she gets one ult, it's an absolutely Shane ulting fest, which I mean, I'm a fan of. It's insane. I think Puzzle made a video showing off how much damage she can do in Dream Realm, which we also, I will have to make a video on that. I will have to make that a topic of a video. For now it's PvP, but we can see it's again against Cruel, it's against the same team, and we see that the enemy Shemira wasn't even able to act quite a lot, and this is just by us having this charm set, which apparently is active even in this arena mode, which I think is a hilarious oversight in my opinion. Arena, if you toggle to the arena mode, it should be like arena, no charms, no seasonal artifacts, no faction skills, but I think they are going to fix that. So yeah, she starts chain ulting, which, I mean, if I think about it now, we had the same thing with the twins, like chain ulting, chain ulting, chain ulting. Makes me a little bit afraid that she might get nerfed in that regard, but we'll see. Makes her a lot stronger, so in this season particular, with the energy recovery charms, with the extra ult damage from that is probably perfect for her. And I want you to kind of keep an eye on that, because this specific thing might make her seem pretty insane. With the initial energy, she's just so quick to reach her ult, which can be a disadvantage as well. Like if an enemy uses that specific team, what do? Pluck in Lily May. Pluck in Lily May, because easily this Shemira will be the first one to ult. We can kind of use some other heroes that ult fast too. I mean, examples for that categorically is usually Hugin. Hugin is very fast to ult as well. Oftentimes put him in there because we have 600 initial energy there. If you want to combine that, pretty cool idea as well. Combining Hugin with Shemira. Let's just do that. So just removed the Thorin, plugged in the Hugin. And the good thing about this is, well, she doesn't really move, does she? So she just stands there on her tile. And in this situation we even get to ult. Now she's ulting, standing on the tile, having the attack buff, we can see it right there, little sword. And of course that will also help her deal a little bit more damage against the enemy, which is rather nice. Cal in there with the stun, and of course that is an easy win right there. Mainly because of the charm, but Hugin and the combination with her is also very nice. And what of course we could also do is we could also get the charms for Hugin, which allow the hero on the tile behind him to deal true damage. So that could be interesting as well. Maybe we try that too. Quickly hooking us up here with legendary charms. 30% true damage, 6% attack. And there we go. Let's try the same thing one more time. We have the true damage conversion now. Let's see if that hits a little bit harder on the enemy. Dunlinger doing its best to do no damage over there. Always the same with this guy. Oh yeah. Ooh, that hits really, really hard, I have to say. You can see during the ult animation, the enemies on the other side are still vanishing. Okay, that seems a lot more interesting, I have to say. That was some nasty damage, so maybe a nice combination there. Could be pretty cool. So, one thing to note there. But then let's also address the classic problem of such a hero. Well, usually it is the survivability, and we made an initial assessment of like her possible skills with the AFK arena stuff, and surprisingly she has a ton of heal here. So when Shemira heals herself for 50% of the damage dealt whenever a ghost deals damage, so we can kind of see that she can recover a lot of HP, which is fairly interesting to see on such a hero having such a strong recovery ability. But I don't know if this is like a visual bug. At the moment, there is not much going on in that regard. So I don't know. Maybe the ghost heal isn't displayed there or something. It feels like it should be more. Summons 10 ghosts, bombard the enemy. Each ghost deals damage to target. When a ghost deals damage, she heals herself for 50% of the damage dealt. Granted that we have like 48 million damage over there. It should be a little bit more, I guess. I don't know. Sometimes we had the scenario that there was like, or maybe she just wasn't damaged. Might be possible. We ran quite a defensive set there. I'm not too sure. But also the same is for the enemy. I always want to say Cryanaya, no Shemira. Also not really a lot of heal. I don't know what's going on there. Still, the issue I want to talk about is that, well, while having a ton of heal and having like this form of survival ability is certainly very nice, and stacking up defensive stats on her is also possible through charms and maybe the Hugin shield. That would be very, very interesting. There is still the same problem that all of those heroes of that style have, that a Siren has, that Cryanaya has, that even a Wraec has, and that problem comes by the name of Athalia. Athalia, I named her the Scourge of PvP, has been doing quite a lot of scourging and destroying enemies with highest damage dealt, because that is her thing. Thalia leaps into the air, strikes the enemy with the highest cumulative damage dealt, and I tried this first against the same team of Cruel because I wanted to see, well, how good is Shemira? Let's try a team without Shemira, something that works, something that is bursty. So I thought, let's go in with Sylvina, big burst there, let's go in with Athalia. No charms at all, and a lot of meanness. We instantly target the enemy Siren, and basically in about 0.5 seconds everything will be gone. Yeah, that is just the way this works. And then we even get the nice Sylvina CC plus a Siren ult on top of that. Yeah, survivability is a little bit tough. What you can of course do is you can hide her on the Wilder tile. Not in this scenario, obviously. Especially there. I mean, you probably have the advantage that Siren will deal more initial damage than Shemira, keeping her safe for the first part of the fight. But Athalia is going to come for her, so you have to put her in kind of a more defensive scenario, which I tried to do with the teams that we already took a look at. Combining her with Callan and Ludovic, maybe even linking her to Thorin, or putting her behind the Hugin, can always lead to, well, a little bit more survivability. But in this meta that we have right now, where we have invincibility or like stuff, the team for example that I made with the Lightbearer with Hogan in there, where you fight with dead heroes essentially, stuff like that isn't really the taste of like a Shemira. It's also the same reason you don't see a Cryanaya shine as much as she probably should. With all her kit and everything that is going on in there, Cryanaya should be absolutely insane. Just in this meta, it is more about other things. It's a little bit more cheesy, we can overall say. So that is something we will still have to see if it's worth it to pluck her into a Wilder team, which in my opinion would be an absolutely uncreative use of her. Plucking her into a Wilder team, putting her on one of those invincible tiles is just like, that has no style. That has no style, let's be real about this. This is boring, and you can probably do this with any hero, and then she becomes so generic that it's almost not worth summoning her. Then you can use something else. Bores me, kind of annoys me, offends me to an extent. I don't know. You guys tell me. So it's not really. I don't think about it. I'm more interested in Graveborn stuff, like the full Graveborn teams. We are kind of getting to that scenario where I find 5 Graveborn that I want to use and that I want to combine for this, and that I kind of want to use to fight. And I did exactly that. I decided to fight Slowby with that. Just Igor, Ludovic, Thorin, we got Kalin in there, and Shemira, and actually some very nice performance here from Igor. Igor is still very interesting. Igor can jump around, Igor can deal a little bit of damage, and the good thing is Igor serves as a target for heroes like Athalia. Very good target for Athalia, because when he's on his gravestone, no matter how much damage an enemy Athalia deals with a single punch, it doesn't matter to him, because he will be immune to that as long as there is another gravestone on the board. And this can very easily give Shemira time to cast out an ult, Kalin to maybe protect the enemies, and to block out initial burst very, very much so. So this is fairly interesting, and I think this is also pretty cool, and a pretty cool team to go for. Maybe this will be something that we can do, and of course if the Graveborn skill in the next season, which is pretty close, it almost makes more sense to think about the next season than it makes about this, is more suited towards a little bit more sustain, and the meta in general slows down a little bit. I can see something like this work very much so. Very much so. So could be fairly interesting. We'll have to wait and see what happens there. Is this a hero I want to summon? It is so difficult. Let's be honest, guys. So like, I of course have to give an assessment based on a hero that isn't released yet. So keep that in mind. I can't tell you, well, oh, Shemira is the greatest and you have to summon her, when the versions often change when they hit global or when they hit the VN server. For now, this version of Shemira I really like. That is a hero I want to add to my Graveborn roster. That is something that I want to try in PvP teams. That is something where I very much so am looking forward to explore the factional skill team side of it a little bit more, where I want to like get some people on the Pioneer server that set up a team like for Supreme Arena defense. I want to fight some meta Supreme Arena defenses with it, make a video about that. So that's something that I'm looking forward to. For me, the difficult thing is I'm kind of hyped about the collab with Fairy Tail, and I think they are going to release very strong heroes there. So going for Shemira right now, very, very tough. I will make her Supreme Plus. That is not the question that we are debating here. The question is, how far in the Paragon realm do we want to go? And I think like if I want to go there and if I want to upgrade her to like P4, that is just not the time and place for this at the moment. What I could imagine a bit more is I still have my S tier swap, and I will make her Supreme Plus, keep her at that for the moment. And then next season, when I decide, okay, Shemira is really worth it, and she's not going to be replaced by Cryonaya on my Graveborn team, which might happen, then I can still do the S tier swap and swap the P4 from my Lorsan over to my Supreme plus Shemira, and then I have Supreme plus Lorsan and Paragon for Shemira if I think that's worth it, and otherwise I will just upgrade her. So that is the plan that I currently have in my mind, because I think it will be worth it to go for the collab hero. So I would encourage not to over-invest on Shemira yet, and keep in mind, Shemira will be released soon, but you will still have the opportunity to have the rate up of Shemira while the collab rate up is live, both of which will be live at the same time. So you can make your decision after the collab is released. That is something that I would strongly encourage. And with that, that is basically all for this video. If you want, you can support the channel by going through the link in the description to Lootbar. Lootbar offers cheaper dragon crystals. At the moment, the direct top-up will just give them your account ID, and you instantly get dragon crystals. It's a little bit more expensive than usual. They had some problems there, but you can still get them cheaper than in-game just by registering through my link and getting the 3% discount coupon that you get for registering, and an 8% discount coupon on top of that, which is absolutely great. So you can save a bit on that and maybe get yourself some packs for Shemira then. And other than that, if you want, subscribe to the channel. Always helps, always makes me happy. And other than that, I wish you a great day. We'll see us in the next one.